In my past life, I was scolded on social media for refusing to exchange bouquets with an internet celebrity at my wedding. Later, I found out that the internet celebrity had been secretly in love with my husband for years and wanted to steal my happiness through this trick. Later, she was abused by her husband and blamed me. She broke into my home and pushed me off a high-rise building. When I woke up again, the internet celebrity's wedding car was parked next to mine. When two brides meet, they must exchange their bouquets. As soon as she finished speaking, she froze upon seeing the chrysanthemums in my hand. Dear bride, there's a tradition among us. When two brides meet, they must exchange their bouquets. Someone knocked on my car window. Even through the glass, I could see Dushi's face twisted into a grin. She held a phone in one hand and a wilted bouquet in the other, her eyes constantly darting inside. It seemed she was trying to peer through the privacy film, eager to catch a glimpse of the situation inside and lock eyes with the man she longed for. To her disappointment, there were only two people in this car, me and the driver. She said tirelessly, "Why isn't the bride coming out? Is she reluctant to part with her bouquet? Exchanging bouquets can exchange happiness, otherwise, you'll have bad luck." At the same time, she attempted to open the car door. I rolled down the window, using my body to block the hidden bouquet behind me, only revealing my face. "Sorry, my bouquet isn't really presentable, let's not exchange. How about I give you a pack of wedding candies instead?" Before I could finish, Dushi shoved her phone in my face. "Bride, your makeup is so beautiful, your bouquet must be too. Don't you want happiness? This is our local custom, you know. There are tens of thousands of people watching my live stream. If you don't swap the bouquet, my family won't bless you. Come on, everyone, hit that follow button." The host is getting married today and ran into a stingy bride, all dressed up but unwilling to swap the bouquet. Dushi's voice was loud, and her eyes were darting around. I pretended to be helpless. "Sigh, since you put it that way, fine, let's swap." Her eyes instantly lit up. "I've always said that exchanging bouquets means exchanging happiness. You." Her words caught in her throat. I slowly opened the car door, revealing the bouquet beside me, a mix of yellow and white chrysanthemums. "Today is the anniversary of my great-uncle's passing. If you don't mind, you can take this bouquet." I smiled at Dushi, this time enunciating clearly so that even the people in her live stream could hear every word distinctly. In my past life, at this very moment, Dushi had also tried to swap my carefully chosen bouquet worth 3,000 yuan with her own, which cost less than 30 yuan. Back then, I refused, but I never expected to face online harassment that very day. Dushi later broke down in tears during her live stream, claiming she was just following tradition and never imagined I'd refuse to exchange happiness. She even went as far as saying that if there was even the slightest unhappiness in her marriage, it would all be because of me. Moreover, her words insinuated that I looked too young to afford such an expensive car, implying I must have married an old man, and might even be a mistress who climbed the social ladder. Her fan base, predominantly young and impressionable, took her words as a call to arms. Some began doxing my personal information and widely circulating doctored images to spread malicious rumors. Overnight, I suddenly had thousands of ex-boyfriends online, all claiming I had swindled their money, cheated on them with multiple partners, and spinning countless fabricated stories about me. For instance, they alleged I was once a hostess at a nightclub before seducing a wealthy man. For example, I rose to my position by leveraging my belly, marrying a 60 or 70-year-old leader with a Mediterranean beer belly. Countless wreaths were placed at my doorstep, paint was splashed on my door, and I was pointed at whenever I went out. Even worse, some people camped outside my house all day, live streaming, trying to milk a wave of massive traffic from my situation. I hid at home for days, slowly adjusting my mindset before daring to face this negative attention. More and more people are speaking up for me online, and some who can't stand Dushi have even created comprehensive counterexposure videos. I only just found out that Dushi was actually my husband's classmate in middle school. Looking at her high school photos, I couldn't even connect them to the glamorous internet celebrity she is now. Back in high school, she was expelled for bullying classmates. She changed her name and underwent plastic surgery, then leveraged her well-recovered face to become a minor influencer on the platform. Internet celebrities have their own circles. Dushi interacted frequently with another influencer of the same type, who had married exceptionally well. Her husband was handsome, wealthy, and utterly obedient. She was envious and asked about her methods for taming a husband. The top influencer told her that it didn't matter who she married initially. As long as she found a woman who was happily married and exchanged bridal bouquets with her, she could swap happiness with her. She took this as gospel. At first, she accepted the proposal from her top fan, then began searching for the right candidate. And just 1 month before our wedding, my husband happened to return to our small town for a class reunion, where he also announced our upcoming marriage. She chose him, turning him into the unlucky fool for her happiness exchange. After learning about this, I was about to tell my husband when, unexpectedly, she, who had rushed into marriage, was abused by her wealthy husband, blaming me for everything. She stormed into my home under the pretense of apologizing, tricked me into opening the door, and pushed me from the high rise. As I fell into the abyss, I saw the madness in Dushi's eyes. Why wouldn't you agree to exchange happiness? Your happiness was supposed to be mine, your man was mine too, mine. The moment I woke up, I almost thought I was still floating in the air. If it weren't for the heavy wedding dress weighing me down, I wouldn't have been able to gather my thoughts. I never expected to be reborn. The moment I saw my husband, tears nearly streamed down my face. The wedding procession was about to depart. I occupied the lead car all by myself, forcing my husband to ride in the one behind. I handed the expensive bridal bouquet to the bridesmaid, instructing her to keep a close eye on my husband and ensure that no matter what happened, he must not get out of the car. Though they didn't understand, they still respected my choice. Before the motorcade departed, I stopped by a flower shop downstairs and bought a few chrysanthemums. After casually wrapping them, I fashioned them into a bouquet. The shopkeeper didn't understand either, but since I paid generously, they nodded in agreement. Didn't you think a few flowers could exchange happiness? The form of the flowers doesn't matter. What matters is the sentiment behind them. Now my bouquet is made of chrysanthemums. Are you unwilling to exchange now? Dushi's face turned pale then flushed. Why would your bouquet be like this? If someone in your family has died, you shouldn't be getting married. I smiled at her gently, deliberately putting on a pale face. My great-uncle was very good to me. His dying wish was to see me get married, so I chose his Memorial Day to marry the love of my life. With these chrysanthemums symbolizing good fortune, I want to tell my great-uncle that I will be happy. Who doesn't know how to put on an act in front of the camera? What's the language of chrysanthemums? I made it all up. As for my great-uncle, today is indeed the anniversary of his death, then I don't want to change it. How unlucky, Dushi muttered, about to walk away. At that moment, the driver suddenly rolled down the window. Is she that Xiao Cici who spoils her fans? I know her, my daughter is her fan and watches her videos. Finally, the driver excitedly said, Xiao Cici mentioned a couple of days ago that she would choose the first bride she met on the road to exchange bouquets with. Who knew we'd run into her? Miss Xiao, hurry up and give her the bouquet. I hadn't expected the driver to be so sharp. He had just exposed her pre-announced video plan during the live stream. Dushi's face visibly twisted in frustration. For this live broadcast, Dushi also filmed a video in advance as a teaser, specifically emphasizing in the video that exchanging bouquets symbolizes the beautiful wish of sharing happiness. She even confidently stated that she didn't care about the monetary value of the bouquet, as long as it could be exchanged. It would be a gesture of goodwill. At the end of the video, she playfully added that she hoped the brides receiving the exchanged bouquets wouldn't refuse just because she was poor. After all, what's being exchanged is a token of goodwill, and such sentiments can't be measured by money. These words laid the foundation for her future online harassment of me, and now they've become the backlash that consumes her own popularity. In front of so many fans, if Dushi refuses to exchange the bouquet, she'd be slapping her own face hard. It might have been fine if left unmentioned, but now that the driver brought it up, Dushi has no choice but to give her flowers. After all, she's an influencer with 100,000 followers. Live streaming isn't like editing videos where you can cut whatever you want. Here, take it. What a lousy day. Who knew swapping bouquets would land me with chrysanthemums? Dushi gritted her teeth. She suddenly looked at me. Hey, you, how about we don't swap after all? My flowers aren't worth much. She had planned to exchange bouquets all along. Why would she pick a valuable one in the first place? After all that deliberation, she was just trying to shift the misfortune onto me, hoping I'd call off the swap. but I gave her the chance from the start. It was she who didn't treasure it. I feigned surprise. How could that be? We're exchanging happiness. It has nothing to do with the value of the flowers. Aren't you an influencer? Why are you backing out now? At the mention of her being an influencer, she said through gritted teeth, forget it, just take it. She expressionlessly tossed the flowers into my arms. I smiled and said, thank you, both of us will definitely be very happy. I'll follow you as soon as I get back and help boost your follower count. I watched as she stormed back to her wedding car, clutching the chrysanthemums. She walked so aggressively it seemed like she might snap the heels off her 8-centimeter stilettos. As soon as she left, I immediately opened my phone and clicked into She's live stream. LOL, she thought she could snag an expensive bouquet because it was a luxury car, but little did she know the rich folks play even wilder. They use chrysanthemums. Ha 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 ha. I've been saying all along that Xioxix's bouquet is worthless. It looks messy, the flowers are wilted, and it's just plain weird. Turns out they just wanted to take advantage of others. Don't you think it's strange? Who uses chrysanthemums for a wedding? Could it have been intentional? Which fan did this? I've had enough of that little troublemaker. Well done. Who are you calling a troublemaker? Watch your language. Where are the moderators? Kick them out already. So many haters. Influencers like she not only have adoring young fans but also attract haters who enjoy watching the drama. Normally, she would have stepped in to have the moderators remove the haters. But now she's emotionally overwhelmed, her face dark with anger. The entire team is busy comforting her. Who has the energy to manage the live chat? Satisfied, I exited the live stream and opened my chat with the bridesmaid. Now do you see why I asked you to sit in the back? Bridesmaid, giving you a big thumbs up. Bridesmaid, don't worry, I've got your husband under control. He almost rushed out to fight someone just now, but luckily I stopped him. In my past life, my husband actually got out of the car and had an argument with He snatched She's phone, ended the live stream, and told her that pointing a phone at someone's face was extremely disrespectful behavior. Meanwhile, She deliberately fainted and collapsed on the ground, while her convoy blocked ours, refusing to move for a long time. She's top fan was still making a fuss, claiming that we had physically assaulted someone and demanding an explanation from us. By the time my husband and I arrived at the hotel in the wedding car, we were already late. Because the live stream was cut off, the audience didn't get to see my husband's face, but she deliberately spoke evasively, and her team used subtle and misleading language to portray my husband as a sleazy middle-aged man. While she claimed that people shouldn't pry into her private life, she also mocked me, saying, of all things, why did you have to choose this line of work? Her devoted fans then took up arms, slandering me in every possible way on her behalf. If I had let my husband get out of the car just now, I'm afraid things would have gotten even more complicated, so it's better not to let she see him, to avoid she falsely accusing him of hitting someone. After the wedding, my husband and I curled up on the bed with the bridesmaids and groomsmen, counting the money. We had just finished registering and verifying all the gift money in front of us when we heard one of the bridesmaids exclaim in surprise, "Baby, did you just trend online? That person we met today was actually an influencer." My husband immediately checked his phone. It turned out that after she went back, she recorded a tearful video holding the chrysanthemums. In the video, she sobbed, "I don't know if I somehow offended the bride, but she used this prank to ruin my wedding. Still, please don't dox her. I believe she didn't mean it. Just as ambiguous as in my past life, just as adept at inciting online harassment as before." I sneered while watching this video segment, then scrolled down to read the comments. Clearly, her comment section had been scrubbed clean. Pinned at the top were highly upvoted but unreplied fan comments. What normal person gets married holding chrysanthemums? Who gets married when someone in their family just died? So unlucky. Cece, don't cry. Let's send a funeral wreath to that old witch. That old hag is so ugly, even makeup can't hide it. She must be jealous of how pretty our Cece is. What third great uncle, dead and gone, such a distant relative. Who would even care? It must be intentional. Cece, don't cry anymore. The post mentioning my third great uncle has already received 20,000 likes. Scrolling further down, some even turned my face into a meme or photoshopped it into a funeral portrait. As for my ID card and name, they were everywhere. My husband was so angry that his eyebrows twisted. What do these people mean? This is a violation of your portrait rights. Don't get worked up. It's my portrait rights that were violated. Not yours, I said slowly. Opening my contacts and directly finding a lawyer friend, Meek, do me a favor, take on a big case. After discussing it, I tidied up my makeup, deliberately took off the red toast dress, and changed into a white dress with a shawl. The bridesmaid suddenly took out a powder puff to touch up my makeup and asked, "Do you want to fight back online?" I opened the video and said slowly to the screen, "Hello everyone. I am the bride getting married today. And also one of the parties involved in the bouquet exchange. I'd like to address this matter. First, it was Miss Cece who approached me and asked to exchange bouquets. However, after I clearly stated that my bouquet wasn't suitable for display, she repeatedly insisted on swapping. Secondly, I was told that local custom dictates that when two brides meet, they should exchange bouquets as a symbol of goodwill, which is why I agreed. Finally, I hope everyone will stop spreading my personal information. Additionally, regarding the matter of my third granduncle, I hope all netizens can refrain from discussing it further and disturbing the peace of the deceased. I recorded it in one take without even editing, and directly uploaded it to the video platform. At the same time, drawing from my past life experience in combating online harassment, I quickly contacted the official customer service to request real name verification. Soon, the topic, response from the bouquet exchange parties, appeared under my video, and the comment section was instantly flooded. After finishing all this, I closed my phone. Alright, everyone can go back and rest now. After the bridesmaids and groomsmen left, my husband frowned. I think responding like this will only invite more criticism, with people saying you did it on purpose. I blinked at him. Did you forget something, me? I even turned on the beauty filter for your photos today. My husband quickly replied, I really didn't forget. Indeed, getting this blockhead to understand and propose to me on his own was already no small feat. Now, expecting him to remember who Du Shi is would probably be harder than the journey of Tang Sanzang fetching the scriptures. I sighed and directly pulled up a no-makeup photo of Du Shi online. Now do you recognize her? My husband shook his head, his face once again displaying that clear yet foolish expression. Nope. I really had no choice but to open his phone, find his high school class group chat, and search for a long time before finally locating the group photo from that day's gathering. I pointed at the girl standing in the center. Now do you recognize her? My husband was stunned. You're saying the bride getting married today, the photo you just showed me, and my classmate, all three are the same person? I nodded. Before we left, I happened to be scrolling through videos and saw her live streaming. Her car was parked right on the route our convoy had to pass. I thought it was strange, so I looked her up and discovered she's your schoolmate. After my explanation, with my husband's sharp mind, he naturally pieced all the evidence together. The conclusion was clear. She did it on purpose. My husband's face grew even more furious. I've never had any grudge against her. Could it be that she's holding a grudge just because I didn't let her copy my homework back in school? This whole incident was an undeserved calamity for both my husband and me. I quickly comforted my husband. Don't overthink it, I'll take care of the rest. My husband, who was always easy to soothe and trusted me deeply, immediately calmed down upon hearing this. He said with lingering fear, "Thank goodness you're smart, otherwise, all the effort your sister put into making the bouquet would have gone to her for nothing." After a good night's sleep, my phone was already flooded with calls, and my messages were filled with all kinds of curses. I simply pulled out the SIM card. Out of sight, out of mind. Fortunately, I had disabled all the ways to add me on WeChat, otherwise even my WeChat wouldn't have been spared. Opening the short video app, I found quite a few private messages in my account inbox, some cursing me to die, some thinking I did the right thing, and even MCN companies reaching out to collaborate. I didn't reply to a single private message, quietly waiting for the situation to unfold. If I were Du Shi, after doing something so thoughtless, I would choose to disappear and pretend it never happened, waiting for the traffic to bury it. However, Du Shi is a woman who sees traffic as her lifeblood, and right now she's facing a fortune beyond her wildest dreams. After all, as an influencer with tens of thousands of followers, she naturally has a team behind her to manage public opinion. Her team has already sprung into action, using the same playbook as in her past life. spreading rumors, engaging in petty female rivalries, and smearing others. I think it was totally intentional. Didn't that woman's driver even say he knew our little Cece? This Miss Xiao clearly has that mistress vibe. Anyone here had their husband stolen by her? Hurry up and go teach her a lesson. My heart aches for little Cece. This woman must be jealous of how pretty Cece is. So ugly. Who does she think she is to compare herself to Cece? I know this woman. She used to work at XXX Foot Massage as technician No. 96. I even have videos of her. Say, bro, and I'll add you to the group. Right. I've had her service too. She was quite gentle. Never thought being a technician could pay so well. She's already washed clean and moved up in the world. Wonder which poor fool ended up with her. I sneered, took screenshots of a few more people, and sent them to the lawyer, instructing him to file a lawsuit once the evidence was compiled. Scrolling through the comments section, I finally found the content I was looking for. Someone posted a photo. In the photo, I had pink hair and was taking a picture with an elderly man with white hair. Girls, this is my bestie. She used to be kept by an old man, and after he passed away, she took his inheritance and got beaten up by the old man's son. This photo was posted by herself on her social media. I'm so jealous of her. She doesn't have to do anything, just chats with an old man and makes a fortune. As soon as this comment was posted, the likes nearly hit 10,000, and the replies were flooded with vulgar insults. Just like before, I took a screenshot for my lawyer to collect evidence, then opened his profile. Before he could hide or delete his account, I recorded all the content on his profile. His profile picture is pink, and his gender is listed as female, but his vibe is too strong. You can tell at a glance he's a man. I scrolled through the videos on his profile and finally spotted his WeChat avatar and nickname in a gaming video. Only after doing all this did I turn off the screen recording. I switched to WeChat, scrolled through my friends list for a while, and finally figured out who he was. Peng Xian, my colleague at the internship company. The one who leaked the photos must be someone from my friends list. In my past life, during the online harassment, I often turned off my phone to avoid affecting my mood and ignored all messages. My friends, worried it might upset me, never mentioned the online rumors. By the time I discovered the slander, the person who spread the photos had already vanished without a trace, and now, I was well prepared, so I caught him red-handed. Everything that needed to be done was already set up, so I went live directly, the moment the broadcast started. Tens of thousands of people flooded into the live stream. Are you about to start selling stuff? Is this a script? I heard you're an old man's delight. How much for one night? Foot massage parlor girl goes legit. Scammed old men's pensions. Now planning to live stream to fleece big brothers. When I saw her statement yesterday, she made reasonable points with evidence. You're all just paid trolls hired by influencers, right? How dare you spread rumors? I had already mentally prepared myself for these negative comments, so I wasn't afraid at all. When the number of viewers in the live stream reached 50,000, I cleared my throat and said, "Thank you all for your attention to this matter. So far, Miss Cece's team has not contacted me. What I want to say is, I paused and placed my laptop in front of the camera, from yesterday until now, within 24 hours. Many people in the comments section have pretended to know me, spread rumors, slandered, and used foul language. I didn't respond because I was busy gathering evidence. I've hired a professional domestic team. All false and defamatory comments in the comments section that have reached a certain number of likes have been documented as evidence. I will report them to the police later. The internet is not a lawless place. Even if you delete your account, I can still find you." With that, I smiled at the screen. The barrage almost stopped for a second. "Sis, you're so fierce and domineering. Who are you trying to scare? Don't let her intimidate you. She's just trying to change the subject. She was the one who started cyberbullying Xiao Cece. If anything happens, it'll happen to her first. Besides, there are so many of us. Can she even sue everyone?" I looked at this barrage, pinned the message directly in my live stream, and said with a smile, "This is Xiao Cece's devoted fan. I remember your ID. You've been quite active in my comment section. How much did they pay you? I wonder if it's enough to cover what you'll owe. I truly can't sue each and every one of you, but you, I will never let go." Moreover, before this incident, I was just an ordinary person with fewer than 100 followers. If someone hadn't exposed my name, ID number, and photos, I wouldn't have responded. I hope this matter ends here. If the rumors and slander continue, and my personal information is further leaked, I will use the law as my weapon to protect myself and fight you to the end. After saying this, I ignored the scrolling comments on the live stream and ended the broadcast. An unconventional marketing account compiled the recent turmoil into a timeline, clearly presenting the sequence of events. She specifically selected a few particularly vocal individuals from my comments section and grouped them together. Finally, she expressed admiration for me. I truly admire Ms. Xiao. It takes immense mental strength for a woman to face such overwhelming malice after experiencing these things. I also hope that girls who encounter similar situations learn to protect themselves with legal weapons. Public opinion swiftly shifted. At first, it was just a small influencer crying out. But now the situation has escalated to the point where I've become a staunch anti-cyberbullying advocate. This marketing account has a huge following. And the comment section is filled with people saying they initially didn't know who Xioxixi was, but after watching the edited video, they immediately became my fans. My follower count skyrocketed, surpassing Xioxixi's in less than 2 hours after the marketing account's edit was posted. Meanwhile, my inbox is flooded with apologies. The malicious comments under yesterday's video have already been completely deleted by the uploader, replaced by an interwoven mix of apologies and admiration in the comments section. At the very top was actually an acquaintance, Xiao Cici's devoted fan, Ms. Xiao. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm begging you, I'm still young and was just led astray by Xiao Cici. Can you give me another chance? I've already deleted my comment. I know I was wrong. You can see my sincerity. I can give it to you. I replied to him. It's the law that will judge whether you were wrong, not me. My role is to hire a lawyer to send you through the legal process. This sentence has been wildly reposted and liked again. I noticed that the account posting photos of me and my third uncle in the comments section has already been deleted. Dushi's team finally reacted and started launching a counter PR campaign. She began crying in front of the camera again. It's not scripted, really not scripted. I know nothing. The other side must be doing it on purpose. And I never asked you to cyberbully her. I'm really upset now. I think I'm already suffering from depression. She cried while pulling out a self-assessment form for depression, which indicated depressive tendencies. If you cyberbully me, I'll go to the police. But there's one thing I must say, she did it on purpose. Who in their right mind uses chrysanthemums for a wedding? She saw me getting married and didn't want me to be happy. That's why she deliberately targeted me. Depression is such a handy brick. It gets moved wherever it's needed. Because of depression, Dushi once again stirred up sympathy in many people. Under the team's operation, netizens finally turned their attention to the chrysanthemum bouquet. Yes, normal people wouldn't use chrysanthemums as a bridal bouquet, but I'm different. In response to this question, I posted another video. Everyone is very curious about who my great-uncle is and why I chose to get married on the day of his passing. Uncle had been injured in his early years and had no children of his own, so he treated my mother as his own daughter. After I was born, he was the one who treated me the best in the whole family. My husband is the child of his comrade in arms. The old man always tried to bring us together and even personally set our wedding date. It's just that when he passed away, it happened to be, at this point, my voice choked with sobs. Third uncle treated me very well. In his eyes, I was his own granddaughter. My parents were busy with work, so he would take me to and from school and buy me snacks. When my clothes were torn, he wouldn't let grandma mend them but instead bought me new ones. When I went to study in another city, he flew on a plane for the first time in his life just to visit me. When it snowed during my childhood, he would personally build snowmen for me and give each one a name. He was from the north, timid and not fond of drinking. His wife was pregnant, and by the time he returned, the child would already be calling him Dad. They liked to call third uncle little third brother and saved all the delicious treats for him. Third uncle remembered every one of his comrades. During holidays, he would line up a series of wine bowls in the open space at home. Such a good person. Years after their passing, was insulted and slandered by netizens because of a photo from a hospital bed and the schemes of a malicious individual, unable to rest in peace even in the afterlife. In my past life, I never found out who leaked the photo, but now, I've caught the instigator. At the end of the video, I've attached screenshots of the malicious comments with the photo, along with the deleted profile of the poster. Do you think deleting your account means you can just walk away? Justice has long arms. When you posted that comment full of malice, you should have been prepared to face the consequences. Shortly after the video was posted, it caused another uproar. Before long, someone identified my great-uncle based on the photos. He was a veteran who had fought on the battlefield, defended the nation's borders, and earned illustrious military honors. He lost a leg in the war, yet he remained optimistic and cheerful. All the subsidies provided by the state were distributed by him to the families of his fallen comrades. Someone produced photos and receipts, revealing that they were the descendant of my great-uncle's comrade in arms. Every year, my great-uncle would send money to their family. A veteran who has been on the battlefield is slandered as an old lecher who keeps young women. Anyone with a sense of justice would feel outraged. The sequence of identity exposure is crucial. In my past life, I avoided everything until it was too late to salvage the situation, but now, I nip the problem in the bud as soon as it arises. From now on, no one will dare to throw mud at third uncle again. She has finally suffered the backlash of internet fame. Why use chrysanthemums as a bridal bouquet for a wedding? Others can choose whatever flowers they want for their weddings. Why choose the anniversary of an elder's passing to hold a wedding? The groom has no objections, so who do you think you are? Moreover, it was the elder's own decision. If you have a problem, go confront them directly. She's so-called depression is nothing more than a self-assessment form. Netizens have already exposed that she falsified her academic credentials and didn't even finish high school. During her middle school years, she bullied classmates and once injured someone's eye. She is full of lies, endorses low-quality cosmetic surgery ads, and scams underage girls into taking loans for plastic surgery. She creates red and black lists for skincare products, putting brands that paid for ads on the red list and those that didn't pay protection fees on the black list. Several influencers who were close to her quickly distanced themselves, making their stance clear. She finally came to apologize to me, having already died once. Of course I wasn't foolish enough to meet her alone, so I met her at the entrance of a police station near her company, accompanied by my lawyer. She, wearing a mask, tearfully pleaded, "Miss Xiao Qing, I apologize to you. That day, I was truly blinded by greed. Seeing how nice your car was, I wanted to swap bouquets with you. When I saw the chrysanthemums, I couldn't accept it and acted irrationally, making unreasonable remarks. I apologize to you and to the elderly. I'm sorry. Please forgive me." Is she really apologizing to me? No, she just bowed to the traffic. Me. I accept your apology, but I won't forgive you. You'd better watch your step. She's expression changed instantly. Do you think marrying him will bring you eternal happiness? Let me tell you, I swapped our bouquets. Your happiness is mine. He will be mine too. Seeing her sudden outburst, my lawyer and the police officers immediately went on alert. I found it somewhat amusing. Happiness is cultivated, not exchanged. A bouquet. Do you really think it's some Aladdin's lamp, Xiao Qing? He was supposed to be mine. If I hadn't let go back then, I'd be the one marrying him now. She suddenly shrieked hysterically and lunged at me. I had been prepared and dodged swiftly. She refused to relent. Even as the police officer pinned her to the ground, she used the rhinestones on her manicure to scratch the back of his hand. Is she really mentally ill? My lawyer muttered, not forgetting to slip a business card to the police officer, suggesting he contact him for a lawsuit against the officer. I turned off the live stream, shrugged, and smiled. Who knows? She's few remaining fans fell completely silent after watching my broadcast. She admitted to knowing my husband and even confessed to coveting him. I didn't intentionally use chrysanthemums as a bridal bouquet. She deliberately tried to exchange happiness with that bouquet. On top of that, she physically attacked the police officers, completely ruining her public image, assaulting law enforcement and slandering veterans. What kind of decent person does that? For this assault on police officers, she'll have to spend a few days behind bars. I wonder if her hastily married top donor husband will step in to bail her out. I returned home, opened WeChat, and found that the person who exposed my moment still hadn't privately messaged me to apologize. They're clearly determined to go down this dark path. No matter, I have patience. The lawyer's letter should be arriving at their place soon, right? The the legal team quickly burned the collected materials onto disks and submitted several cases together. I didn't demand compensation, just handwritten apology letters and public apologies. Some of them took the opportunity to sell deepfake videos, adding the crime of disseminating obscene materials to their offenses. They directly handed the evidence to the police, allowing the authorities to open an investigation. In the end, the prosecutor's office filed a criminal incidental civil lawsuit against Peng Xian, charging him with the crime of infringing upon the reputation and honor of heroes and martyrs. It wasn't until this moment that Peng Xian came to me, kneeling on the ground and begging for my forgiveness. Zhao Qing, I was just blinded by greed. I saw how much money you had right after graduation and assumed you were being kept by someone, which led me to make those inappropriate remarks. I truly didn't know your relative was a martyr, I sneered. Oh really? But under that post, didn't you ask me why the old man only had one leg? Didn't I reply that he was a retired veteran who had been on the battlefield? And didn't you respond with a salute to the hero? Don't worry, I've also submitted this evidence to the prosecution. Peng Xian was speechless, his mouth hanging open for a long time. I just wanted to pursue you. I just used the wrong method. Please drop the lawsuit. I still want to take the civil service exam. How disgusting. I couldn't stand his words and almost threw up my breakfast. My husband sat beside me, gripping my hand tightly. If you really want to pursue someone, do it openly and honestly. Don't spread rumors and kick someone when they're down just because they're in trouble. Feels great hiding behind a screen spreading lies and watching the likes go up, doesn't it? Wait till you end up in jail. Then it'll be our turn to feel good. With behavior like yours, you still dream of becoming a civil servant. Your very existence is a waste of the nation's resources. Well said. Brilliant retort. The mediation failed, and my husband and I walked out of the lawyer's office, exchanging a smile. He proudly said, "My wife is amazing, of course, just look at who I am." Peng Xian was sentenced to 7 months in prison and required to make a public apology. The other defendants also apologized and deleted their accounts, and those who distributed obscene materials were also sentenced. As the attention on the bouquet incident faded and public focus shifted, Dushi was finally released. Whether she had truly learned her lesson or not, she didn't come to me. Instead, she went live again, trying to clear her name. I'm sorry, everyone, I don't even know what to say. I just hope you can forgive me. I'm just an ordinary person. All my personas were crafted by the company, and everything was scripted. Now that I've terminated my contract with the company, I can finally be myself. Next, I'll be going on my honeymoon with my husband, and I'll be sharing some honeymoon essentials in a few videos. Before she could finish her sentence, a pot-bellied man appeared in the video, holding a liquor bottle, and smashed it directly on her head. You damn woman. Taking my money while dreaming of other men. I've spent millions on you, and you still want to swap happiness with someone else. I'll teach you to swap. Let's see you swap now. The live stream content was too graphic, so the platform immediately shut it down and called the police. By the time the police arrived, Dushi had already been beaten unconscious, and bystanders shared photos of the scene. Dushi's leg was broken, her flesh below the knee mangled, and her once high-tech first love face was scarred by shards of a liquor bottle. As her husband was taken away, he casually remarked, "This is just a family matter. I was drunk and didn't know my own strength." Dushi could never stand up again, while her husband only received a light punishment, less severe than what I got for reporting a few cases of distributing obscene materials. When the news came out, her husband even sighed a bit. Back in high school, she was really good at running. I remember her climbing over the wall to go to internet cafes. Even the dean couldn't catch her. She got called out by the school several times. I felt a bit emotional too. I had been worried that Dushi might come back to cause trouble after the domestic violence, but I never expected her husband to beat her into disability. But I don't pity her at all. The path was one Dushi chose herself. In her haste to secure happiness, she married a man she'd known for less than 2 months. If happiness were so easily obtained, wouldn't all the lovers in the world be a joke? I strolled down the street with my husband, in high spirits. Suddenly, my husband nudged me. Look, another 2 wedding cars have collided up ahead. I looked up and saw the bride rolling down the car window, smiling as she handed a box of wedding candies to the other person. The anticipation, joy, and happiness on their faces remained unchanged. making the bouquet in their arms appear even more radiant.